Okay, Nightmare Man was one of the 8 Films to Die for Horrorfest franchise that went on for a while. These, of course, were films that were too graphic and too extreme to be shown on in regular theaters, so were only shown for a specific point in time. Essentially, this was one of the best marketing campaigns of all time. You see it a lot now, because then most of these films are like early mid 2000s when this was really going on. So Nightmare Man, a woman buys a fertility mask, shows up, and of course it is a black demon mask with horns. I wonder if this mask is haunted in some way, shape, or form. Oh, hey, it is. The mask looks pretty bad. The prosthetics done for people possessed by the mask. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert, they get possessed by the mask. If this is your first horror film, this might shock you. Eventually, while that couple is driving, they then meet 4 other people who are kind of on vacation in like a cabin in the woods. So people with possessed demon masks then show up inadvertently due to a car accident and end up being with all these other people. And they slowly begin to die off one by one. Film's shot at night, so it's very dark, very gloomy, very atmospheric. No, it sucks. The majority of these films are A, not scary, B, not so graphic that you couldn't actually have seen a more graphic film in theaters, and C, they're not very good. It was almost like someone went, we've got a bunch of these just really kind of D-list horror films. How do we convince people to go see them? We'll say that these are the most gruesome, graphic, over the top, and since they're so unknown, people can't check the internet. This, again, was also, we're talking this like 2000, I think, 5, 6, and 7, around that time. So the internet has made huge strides since this time. So now all of a sudden, virtually any film that exists, you can probably find a review somewhere. It's either on some website, or it's on YouTube, or it's on Vimeo, or Dailymotion. Somewhere you can find information, or even Wikipedia. Around this time, you really couldn't find information on obscure horror films. So what happened is people would actually spend good money and would sit in the theater and would watch these just decrepit, horrible, shoddy produced horror films with the hope that one of them actually be pretty good. Nightmare Man is not that film. No, it's not. I'm thinking this was a film that was shot super low budget, that was meant to be kept low budget, that somebody bought the rights to and decided to put in this massive film franchise, which therefore gave it a lot more exposure, but also exposed the fact that it was probably a film that was designed for a much more smaller audience. So, like the vast majority of films from the 8 Films to Die for Horrorfest franchise, no, this is a pretty good sized waste of your time.